In this week's Pianodrop we'll be featuring Sustain Pedal Perc by Sage Reynolds, The Brooding Mothman by Paul Claypool, Marimba Ripples also by Sage Reynolds, Apartment Sounds by Ryan Weeks, and Interface Plucks by Ruben Camacho. Sustain Pedal Perc by Sage Reynolds. One day, while moving gear in my home studio, I accidentally kicked the sustain pedal for one of my keyboards, producing a pleasant ringing tone from the object. This inspired me to record the sound of the pedal being struck with a mallet using a close mic, a Dynamic Shure SM57, and a matched pair of stereo room mics, Condenser Rode M5. 10 samples were chosen at progressive velocities before being processed 2 different ways. The first set was left dry, while the second set, named Recall, has reverb and a subtle loop when controller keys or your sustain pedal are held down. Mothman by Paul Claypool. I'm a big fan of paranormal folklore, how stories can warp and evolve from person to person over time, and how those stories can rise from the hopes and fears of the people they come from. Though I'm not a believer, I do enjoy the ambiguity of these stories, so I wanted to create something that shifts and warps and is also a bit dirty. To do that, I played long, changing articulations of my trusted and rusted Gibson 16S with a cello bow through my hologram microcosm, into a Strymon Iridium on the Fender model, into my UAD Culture Vulture emulation. Marimba Ripples by Sage Reynolds. In April 2021, I was lucky enough to have a 4.6 octave Rosewood marimba in my home studio for 2 weeks. It was rented as part of a songwriting composition grant project, and it got much use while in my space, including being sampled in detail as part of a Future 6 project. After I had recorded more traditional samples, I proceeded to strike each bar with my medium-hard mallets to find those that resonated the most. Once found, I sampled strikes of these bars performed in loose rolls, recording the slow and fast versions that you find here. Apartment Sounds by Ryan Weeks. This is a collection of pads made from sounds I gathered for a first-time sampling attempt. I grabbed my keyboard duster, a bowl, a crappy learner guitar, some paper, I even tried to sing too, recorded with my SM57 and mixed them together with a bunch of reverb, panning, etc. Bowls are really cool, having a dissonant, harmonic or overtone or something. I made a second set of pads with the bowl sound that tames that dissonance a little bit. Interface Plucks by Ruben Camacho. Interface Plucks is a library totally made of interface sounds that come from my Mac. I've always liked the sounds of my computer but never really knew how to capture them until I found out about Contact. I have organized these samples into 4 plucks and 1 ensemble patch. I recorded them with my internal computer recorder and then I processed them into these plucks, which sound magical.